75 hard day 2. So it's 6 a.m. We're up. We got a run, cold shower, leg day, a lot of work, and whatever else this beautiful day has for us ahead. So let's get after it. So fast forward a few hours, we are on the way to the gym. I pretty much have only, worked for a few hours. I also went to the grocery store. I think for each of these videos, instead of just shooting like a crazy amount of B-roll and doing like a full day in the life each time, I think each day, either like on the way to the gym or leaving the gym, I'll probably just talk for a few minutes. That way, I can post a decently long video. I mean, I'm obviously still gonna produce the whole video with good quality. So today, I wanted to talk a little bit about my faith and pretty much just how, knowing God changed my life. I feel like this is a good starter because, pretty much my worldview and how I live my life is based on this. And if I'm being honest, I'm not really sure that there's anything, more important to talk about. But I grew up Christian, I believed in God, but I never really had a basis for it. And, anytime I had kind of questions, number one, I never really did the research, but if I asked other people, it would always be, just have faith. And let me not rear end this mailman. I couldn't live, just by blind faith. I think there is a faith aspect to it, but there's a faith aspect to whatever, belief you have, because you can't know anything for certain, but you just have to look at the evidence and see what is more reasonable. And so when I moved out, I pretty much had to look at what I believed and ask myself why I believed it. Was it just a blind faith, or is this real? Is it more reasonable to believe this? And so I, looked into it. I read into pretty much everything I could find, and I found that it was more reasonable to believe, number one, that there is a God, based on things like the detail of creation, life coming from life, and that life can't come from non-life, as well as the fine-tuning of the universe, how close we are to the sun, our DNA. It all points to it being more reasonable that there is a creator rather than the theoretical probability that it all happened by chance. I don't have that much faith to believe that it happened by chance. And then looking at the Bible, my misconception that I always held was that it was just some, old book, and that you're just supposed to believe it because it's the quote-unquote word of God, and you're just supposed to blindly believe that, which is not true. When you look into the Gospels, this is just eyewitness testimony, right? And I do believe it is the Word of God because I have seen it work in my life. But, getting to that point, it was just looking at the Gospels and saying, okay, is this reliable information of what really happened? And then with, all the Greek manuscripts that we have from the first few centuries, it was proof that what is recorded was what really happened. Oh man, I'm kind of dark. So at that point, I put my faith in Jesus, and so I started to really be intentional, with building a relationship with God and seeking Him even when I don't feel like it, whether that be prayer, spending time in the Word. It pretty much changed everything. Like the peace that I have, because I don't have to worry about all these things. And by no means am I near perfect. I still struggle with a lot, but I have seen God change my habits and my desires and just the way I live. And that's a big reason why I wanted to do, the 75 days was I struggled a long time with just feeling like I'm not good enough. At whatever it was, I just felt like it wasn't even worth me getting up to do anything. So for a long time, I didn't create. And that's pretty much why. I just felt like it was never good enough. But that was because I was judging my standards, off of me and off of views and off of, whatever, instead of God's standards for my life. And so I really want to share this to just urge you to look into it. It's not a subject that a lot of people talk about. What else matters? Does making millions of dollars that will just be gone in a few years, or, people knowing you, in 100 years, nobody will remember you. There's no reason to wait to really figure out what you believe and why you believe it. So I urge you with my whole heart, read the Gospels, look and see if it is truth. Because if it is truth, then that should be how you want to live your life. I have arrived at the gym. I'm going to do a quick Bible study before we go in there. We got legs and abs today, which should be fun. So, let's go and get to it.
The alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning. Your mind says no. You just say, this is what we do. It's what we do now.
Discipline doesn't care if you're tired. When you're tired, do it anyway.
And then once you do this over and over and over again, it becomes like breathing. I don't want to live this lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to. Nothing is easy, but when you put that practice in every day, you lace them up. Pretty soon you win. Pretty soon you'll win.
So we're back home, and I think I've checked off every 75 hard item. Got up at 6 a.m., ran this morning, drank a gallon of water, just hit legs, and we should get up to 3,000 calories today pretty easy. I'm about to meal prep a bunch of spaghetti. I've tried pretty much just switching over to all red meat, and then I will eat like rice or pasta for some carbs. In all honesty, it is the first time in a while that I feel like I've been giving close to 100%. Yesterday, I woke up at 6, and up until midnight, I was either filming or, doing my work for my job, and I feel great. It's only day 2, but I'm really looking forward to sticking with it, and I'm more excited for who it will make me rather than, at the end of 75 days, what I'll, get. However many views it'll be, or however many, subscribers will have gained, which if you are watching and aren't subscribed, please do. That is pretty much it for today. Like I said, I think we'll just kind of transition to more just talking stuff. That way I don't, use an SD card a day filming B-roll. But let me know what you guys think of these videos. If there's anything I can add to make these more enjoyable, just let me know. One thing I will be adding is every morning when I do that 6 a.m. check-in, I'm going to weigh myself before I do it. So we'll get to track how much weight I gain over the 75 days. I wish I would have done it yesterday on day 1, but it's whatever. My goal is 165. I was up to 160, and then I had a few weeks of traveling, so I'm probably back down to like 155 range, maybe less. So 165, and I feel like that's pretty achievable, but that's the goal. Thank you as always for watching. If you don't want to watch these full videos, I do post like little summary, just kind of B-roll clips to my Instagram. So if you want to watch this in 30 seconds, check that out. But that is it. I'm going to make some food. We got a lot of work to do tonight. I probably won't sleep a lot tonight either, but I will see y'all tomorrow. Just give me one more day. I'm not asking for a week. I'm not asking for a month.